move might make your head blow off.
Hey yo, it's a talk show host, Kana Lassiter. Join me for an episode of Relations, the most lit hour of adult conversation.
Hold up, you know you can't forget about me. It's 51 Spade, Alpha Male God, one half of Relations. You wanna hear the truth? Can you handle the truth? It's where it's at, baby. It's where it's at, baby.
What's good? Welcome to an all-new episode of Relations. My name is Kana Lassiter.
Say it with me now. Alpha Male God, 51 Spade, a.k.a. the ninja you love to hate. I'm in the building.
You already know how we do it. We have two exciting topics tonight. The first one is from heartbreak to whole stage. And the second topic is it okay to give what you get? Where are we going first with this one?
Ladies first.
I'm going to go with this. It's okay to give what you get. This was a kind of personal one for me. And I felt like when I posted it on our Facebook discussion page, I think a lot of women really responded to it because a lot of the girls, not necessarily that follow me, but follow me as far as the way that I live, but they know that I'm submissive. And they are exploring the idea of being submissive and who the right person to be submissive to is. So when I posed the question, it was that way. Hey, I like being submissive. I'm old-fashioned, but when you feel mishandled or mistreated, where's the line? And should you give what you get, whether you're submissive or not? So for me, it's a little hard, and for other women, it'll probably be a little hard. If they're being mishandled or mistreated, it's going to be a little hard to be like, okay, well, I'm going to give him exactly what he's giving me today. He going to have an attitude, I'm going to have an attitude too. It's a little hard because belief-wise, systematic-wise, it doesn't matter if you get in a fight. Food still needs to be on the stove and ready to eat at 8 o'clock. You still need to do all of your wifely duties. Just because you have a fight doesn't mean you broke up, doesn't mean that you get the clock. You know, your boss get mad at you at work and y'all have a tip. That don't mean you clock out and go home. So that kind of is the same in the household. Just because you have a fight doesn't mean that the house isn't clean and that the dinner isn't made. But where's the line if you feel mistreated or mishandled? Because I know for a fact that we teach our kids to treat others the way that you're being treated. Somebody hit your ass, you hit them back. So where's the line when you grow up and you become someone's wife and you're being mistreated and mishandled? Is it okay to say, okay, I'm going to give him what he's giving me today? And that's a question for you.
If you want to die, I mean, it depends on what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I mean, I hear a lot of people that say stuff like that, you know, but I stay out of a relationship and giving advice anyway, because I often hear women taking advice from other women. Some shit go down in the house and they'll say, girl, you need to do him like this, or you need to do him like that. And they single, or they ain't got no man, or, you know, numerous accounts. But the biggest thing is you not dealing with their man. Like, you need to know what type of man they dealing with. And since you don't know, you send them into a war. And then when they come out with a broken arm or a black eye, like, what you gonna say then? I mean, if you feeling lucky or froggy, you can jump. I'm not saying what you can't do. I'm just saying that just know that giving what you put out, the energy you put out a lot of times, when it come back, some people energy is way different, you know, a lot of times. And that and on a serious tip, a lot of times that's how women will say some shit like, well, he cheats, so I'm going to go cheat. Well, a woman's nature is not to kill everybody in the house. And a man nature is. Right. Like, so at the end of the day, like, tit for tat don't always work in certain circumstances. To be anonymous. Someone in my family dealt with rough relationships, and I asked her, like, you know, well, why do you keep this man, or why do you continue to do good for him? And she was like, you know, you don't leave somebody when you love them and you know who they are. And to sit back and think about what she was saying, I was like, you're right, you know, because sometimes people recognize problems that's in people that's just uncontrollable. Everything isn't just that he's just doing shit wrong. There are some that will abuse some shit. I ain't saying that. But there are things that women know how to handle their man and get them in a good good space, know when to stay away from them. Make sure that they don't get off task of things that they do.
Right. And I agree with that. I think the most profound thing that you said is you have to know your mate. But this is where I'm going to go with this conversation. Because if I say that, okay, you have to know your mate, everybody's going to agree to that. Conversation is over. So I really want to go deeper into the psyche of a man who knows that he's mistreating or mishandling already a very submissive woman. And how should she respond to that? I get what you're saying. And I am going to say that even if I have a fight in my household, I'm still being like, okay, what we eating? I mean, I don't give a damn if it went down in that bitch. It's about to be 7:00. And I definitely don't want to see you getting your keys, leaving the house to go get something to eat. That ain't going to work for me. That's going to make me 10 times madder. So I'm going to hurry up, put my emotions to the side. I am pissed off, but my man needs to be fed and fucked.
So are you doing that because you don't want him to leave?
I'm doing that for a whole bunch of reasons. I'm doing that because I know the consequences of a fight. The consequences of a fight is silence. The consequences of a fight is, you might leave. There are a lot of consequences of a fight. And when you're a grown up, you kind of realize the consequences of that fight as soon as the fight is over. After all the emotions, after you verbally vomited on the person that you love, trust me, I don't give a damn if you're the man or the woman, you know the consequences. Now, the man might not care about the consequences and the woman does. However, both people know the consequences of that fight. So for me, I would rather have peace and be able to sleep in the same household, be able to be adults for the rest of the 24 hours, and then we'll revisit the conversation tomorrow. But my job will be done. Now, if you choose to leave and you choose to interfere with me doing my job, then I'm not responsible for that. But I will not on my own decide not to be my spouse's wife just because we had a fight. I'm the wife, so these are my duties, whether we have a fight or not. But I battle still because I'm human. I know for a fact when my spouse is mishandling and mistreating me. And I know when it's for no good fucking reason. Maybe it's because he's in a bad mood. He had a fucking bad day. He got a headache. His back hurt. You still know when, okay, you can do better. You can talk to me better. You can handle me better. So when I know that for sure, it makes me want to say, well, why do I have to be the ass licker when he's being an asshole on purpose? Why? And I want to say this because I'm still going to cook the dinner, but I'm cooking with a whole lot of other shit in my heart than I would be if we just made peace and we just went about our regular day. Or if you have a valid reason for being upset, I mean, come on. If I posted an inappropriate picture or I got an inappropriate message and you pissed off, then these are the consequences that I have to deal with. I have no argument at all. I want to make it clear about the word mishandle and mistreat. Because those are the two things we battle as women saying, okay, we deserve this and we deserve that all day long, at work, outside of the house, inside of the house. This is what I deserve. I'm beautiful. This is what I deserve. And then you be the good person who is deserving of all those things. And the other person on the other end is just deciding to be a fucking jerk for whatever reason that he's deciding to be a jerk. So where's the thin line? And why should I take it when you are purposely being a jerk? Isn't it okay to give what you get in that aspect?
If you feeling lucky. I'm going to just say this. I want to tackle two things. I was listening to you talk.
Okay.
The word ass liquor. Now, I'm definitely going to tackle this first. I'm just trying to figure out, just for sake of argument, why you just can't be the bigger person. You understand? So it's like when women start saying some shit that they got to do, it's all everything negative. It's like, well, why I got to be the ass looker? Why you just can't be the bigger person? Because if the shoe was in reverse, you would want me to be the bigger person. So let's not act like it's just a one-way street. There are times when my woman turn into super bitch. And I have to bite my tongue because you in a bad mood. You round there slamming shit, cursing, talking loud for no, I ain't did shit to you. And if I decide to be the bigger person, not the ass licker, you know what I'm saying? But if I decide to be the bigger person and just ignore you, because I'm just saying, like, that's what you can do if I'm in if I'm in that way. But I'm just saying, for real, like, if it's in reverse, women have bad days, y'all, and then y'all have plenty of excuses that y'all use it on. Well, I was on my period the other day. You know what I'm saying? Georgetta had hit me with some bad news. You know what I'm saying? It's like all kind of shit that y'all decide y'all get passes for on a bad day. In return, men really do have bad days. You know, and I don't feel that every woman share your viewpoint as far as like they just gonna let some of that shit ride, or they gonna cook a meal,
because
or they still gonna fuck them.
For some shit you can't.
I mean, you just said that you don't quit being your job, doing your job.
Let me tell you let me paint a picture of a battle.
Paint a picture.
Hey, where are you going? None of your business. You tell me how to deal with that as a full grown ass woman that feels like she deserves to know when her man is coming and motherfucking going. You tell me how to deal with that as a mature adult. That is a situation where I have been kind, good morning, good night. Everything has been fine all day. I got one motherfucking question, and now you done turned into damn Mike Tyson. None of my business. Because I asked a question? That's mishandling and mistreating.
That sounds good.
I'm done with you
at
this point.
Like Mike Tyson, I'm just gonna go from your viewpoint. Mike Tyson, I'm quite
probably
sure
a bad example.
I'm quite sure you wouldn't be standing up right. You know what I'm saying? If I went the Mike Tyson route, you know what I'm saying? Everyone knows that there is KOs with Mike, so that I understand.
It was a bad example.
Yeah, okay. No.
I'm just saying, being
no,
mean.
ma'am. No. We're gonna stay on topic. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna address some of these issues that you're talking about. Now, he could be in a bad mood, but I do want you to think about something. If you look at your grandparents, my grandparents, there's no way on earth that I'm gonna sit here and think that my grandma didn't take some of my granddad's shit. You know, there was a time that she was just quiet, or she went on in the other room, or she just started cleaning up, stuff like this. You new modern bitches, everything got to be a fight. Everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, if you asking where he going and he don't want to say nothing right now, just let him be. You know what I'm saying? And when I say just let him be, I'm just saying it's like, this is what we gonna do. Because men do a lot of this, and I feel like women don't do a lot of this. You can decide to go into this war. But if you think about the mate that you with, the result might still be the same. You're going to end up fighting for a no-winning battle where he's still going to end up leaving. Like, I'm not saying that that's right. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, like, that's you agitating him, nagging, or you just saying, like, hey, I was just asking a question. I'm quite sure, just like when my woman is in there slamming shit, throwing pots around and shit like that, I look over, I be like, what the fuck is wrong with her? You know what I'm saying? I start ignoring that shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what do I need to get in the middle? Hold on. What do I need to get in the middle of this shit for? You know what I'm saying? It's like, people know when to choose their battles, because if I decide to step in while you slamming doors and pots like that, we gonna end up in a fight. And then we gonna need somebody to be the bigger person, not the ass licker. But from your perspective, let's say, for instance, like, sometimes I do notice that women timing is wrong. So let's just say, for instance, like, he was having a shitty day. So he's just trying to get out the house. Because I say, for me, like, a lot of times when I'm in a bad mood, the energy that I have, I don't want to bring that shit to my old lady. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes I don't really have a direction where I'm just trying to get out the house because I don't want to jump on your ass. You are not my problem, but I have a problem. So I'm just trying to get out the house just to clear my head. I'm not talking about leaving the house and gone for 2-3 days and no shit like that. I'm just saying, let me be. Let me just go out. I might go get a drink or something. I might go to my brother's house. I might just need to clear my ear. And a lot of times, even with men, when we have problems sometimes, our problems we start telling you without you asking. You know what I'm saying? It's not that you asked me what was wrong. It's like, we could just be sitting there watching TV. I'd be like, man, today at work, I was about to kill a motherfucker. You understand? It's not really good to poke the bear in the middle of anger. Just wait until some shit just kind of calm down. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. I can respect that. But I do want to make clear, that cooler heads have prevailed when we in there slamming that door and slamming them damn pots, because we saying to that shit and doing to that shit what we can't do to you. So that is us choosing peace. The bad energy is directed on the door. The bad energy is directed on the pot, slamming the pot. It ain't at you. And that's why we're choosing those things, because we are holding our tongues, because we are submissive. Yeah, you just said ain't none of your business, but we're not saying, okay, well, where I go ain't none of your business either. We're not doing that. We're just slamming the door out of frustration that we can't say that back. That's why I'm asking, where is the thin line? Because we're always the one suffering in silence. Y'all get to say and do what the fuck you want to say and blame it on the fact that you're the alpha male in the house. Oh, you know what I'm saying? A woman should never ask a man where they going anyway. I think that's disrespectful. In what way? You know what I'm saying? What do you want to eat? I don't know. I'm just not in the mood today. I mean, you literally go through the house with, and everybody, the dog getting the silent treatment, you getting the silent treatment. Like, it's like, well, goddamn, is anybody in the house gonna be happy today? And then you still expect me to have on my lily white gloves and do all this bullshit like a fucking Stepford wife when you're clearly in a fucked up mood, and you can tell by the way you are mishandling and mistreating the woman in the house. That's why I wanted to make it clear those two words are realized. It's not that I didn't realize that I was being an asshole. You knew you was being an asshole.
Not necessarily true. I'm not going to roll with that a lot of times. The reason I'm going to say that, and this is real shit. The reason I'm going to say that is because, for me, for instance, I used to drink a little heavy. And a little bit down the line when I kind of like sobered up and I wasn't drinking as much, I was told by my significant other that you was an angry drunk. Like, you were just fucking mean. And I was like, what the fuck you talking about? Like, I really had no idea that she felt that way. Mm-hmm. So I'm not gonna say that everybody knows when they in the mood. And that's what I'm saying. It's like, if you're in a bad mood, if a woman's in a bad mood, and I'm horny, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, it's almost like a 2% chance I'm getting some pussy right now.
Yeah, most women gonna turn right over, lay down, whatever, and be mad about that shit after. I definitely take some dick in the middle of an argument.
Yeah, being a nymphomaniac and someone that's actually have their head on straight would not agree with you. You know what I'm saying? I have seen some resistance, and it ain't always going like that. Not for every woman, but I'm just saying you might need to check yourself in somewhere. But I get what you're saying. But I'm just saying I'm weighing my chances in on that. But I actually do agree with you. I was watching this podcast one time, and I think I said it on the show, and the girl was like, no matter how bad me and my guy fight, she was like, we have a schedule that we kind of keep, and even if we fighting bad, I still will fuck him. She was like, I might go in there with a little bit of attitude and be like, you ready to do this? I don't know how he got turned on by that, but I guess the effort was enough to be like, you ready to do that. But I did give her credit for saying I still would let him, fuck, because I don't want him going nowhere. I want to drain his balls and, just keep shit moving.
Right.
But I don't really think every woman will feel that. But the next time I'm in a fight, I'm going to try that and see how it works. And I'll report back and see if, I was successful or not. I don't know how this gonna go, but we just gonna go. We gonna go out on a limb and say that you right, okay? We just go out on a limb and say that. So if I say anything as far as like what is your line or where it can go, I'm gonna say what I've been saying from the very beginning is like, you really just have to know your mate. I don't really feel that your mate is gonna take full advantage of you in a situation like that. There are times when living together, I ain't talking about some new energy phase, new relationship energy and all that shit. I'm talking about when you've been in the house with a motherfucker like 7, 8, 10 years. Like, it ain't always like that. Like, I was watching a show the other night, and I want to say the show was called Succession. And I watched the dude, and he was like, you really just fucking up my energy. He was talking to his lady, and she was like, what do you mean? He was like, it's like 7 bathrooms in his house, and you in the bathroom that I'm in. And I started laughing. My lady was like, well, that's how you feel? I'm like, yeah, because sometimes it's like, I'm trying to get a peace of mind, even if it's in the shower. And if we got 7 showers and you still in the same bathroom, I mean, I'm gonna be like, why are you in here with me? We live together. Like, it's like, I understand.
So that's an example of mistreating and mishandling.
There you go.
Let me tell you why.
There you go.
Let me tell you why.
There you go.
Because normally, when a woman is trying to join you in the bathroom or in the shower, she needs some quality time. You might be on your way to work. She might be leaving work. Y'all might be away from each other for 8 hours. And if your only answer is, damn, out of all the bathrooms you choose this one, it just feels like you're pushing us away. It's just got to be a better way to communicate, because I'm telling you the truth. I would feel like, well, damn, I would go to the other bathroom, but I would go with my head down. Like, somebody just stole my basketball. I would be like, well, damn, I just got kicked out of the bathroom. That doesn't feel well. I get you need your space, but to communicate, damn, out of all the bathrooms, you just had to choose this one, huh? It was like, well, goddamn. I mean, you want to pick another way to say you don't want to be fucking bothered with me today? Who else has been mistreated or mishandled? If you have, make sure you write in so we can talk about it on the show. And now we're going to just switch topics.
Nah, lady. Drive-bys work on other people, but they definitely don't work on alpha male God. No. First of all, we're going to address this. You know what I'm saying? No. We're going to definitely address this. Yeah, there are other ways to say shit, but the problem is this. A lot of times, y'all really just don't like to listen. You know, like that. It's just like, we give forewarnings a lot of times. You know what I'm saying? Because I know I've said plenty of shit to my lady. You know, sometimes I just need a little peace. Sometimes I just need a little space. For some reason, y'all just don't hear that. Because I'm quite sure at the point in time when he is saying that shit, that ain't the first time he done mentioned the shit about that bathroom in his space and the shit that he need. And just to go a little bit further, I'll give you your credit as far as like when you're saying like, hey, I lost my basketball. I feel you. I understand that. But the man count too. Like, this is the thing that I just don't get a lot of times. It's like, women always want to be like, but what about me? But my feelings matter too. So the fuck do mine. You know what I'm saying? And if I'm just asking for some peace, I ain't kick you out the house. I kick you out the bathroom. Like, god damn it.
But being kicked out of anywhere, when have you ever walked into a bathroom and a woman be like, babe, I kind of just need 15 minutes? Never?
No, never. It just hasn't happened to me.
It's my time.
I mean, and I'll say a lot of times with guys, we look at the women and we always trying to get our space. I don't really feel women a lot of time is trying to give us that space. So I feel like that's where some of that back and forth and that struggle come from. It's because it's like, well, I just want to be with you. I just want to be near you. And I get it. I understand. You love me. And all those things come with it. But sometimes we just need some peace.
What is Pa Bean talking about? Because I just have a feeling there got to be somebody on my side tonight that will say that alpha male is full of shit. At least once.
It says, I'm okay. It's okay to watch your partner urinate, don't you think?
Yes. I love being in the bathroom when my spouse is using the bathroom.
I think you need some help. You're just going to go out on a limb and just say you need some help. Your partner should not be, your partner should not be your everything, your every movement, your every thing that's
another topic
around your life.
I think that we're going to save that for another topic because I think that's what's missing. I do, and I probably sound like a loved crazed maniac, but I will be able 10 years from now to look back at this and be like, well, I just got engaged, so I'm in my engagement phase. But I think I appreciate, because I went so long without a solid, substantial relationship, I can appreciate wanting to do everything with my spouse, wanting my spouse to be my best friend, wanting my spouse to be my riding partner. I think that you allow other people to infiltrate when other people have those positions. That's just me. And I don't care if people disagree. But I think when I got a best friend over there, and then I got a homeboy that I work out with over there, and then I got somebody that I call for problems over there, somebody that I go to dinner with, somebody that I like to go to the movies with, that's when you run into problems. I like to do everything with my significant other. And if I happen to go out with my girlfriends, guess what? I'm watching the time because it's a certain time I don't want to be around you heifers. I want to be up under my man. And if anybody got a problem with that, that's just their problem.
So don't be a friend with Kana Lassiter. But you do have a question over here. Benji says, well, what about the second? Poo-pooing. You think you should be in the bathroom when that happens too?
I mean, I happen to like the smell of my man's poo.
You know what I'm saying? Next, we gonna roll it. See, now, you understand what I'm saying? Y'all think something wrong with me, right? On national camera right now, this is what she say. Next topic, please.
From Heartbreak to whole stage. Let's talk about it. Now, I know you didn't want to use from Heartbreak to whole stage because you're going to be representing the guys. But I'm saying Heartbreak to whole stage because that's usually how women are led into their whole stage. Or I will say, if no woman wants me speaking for them, I will say what led me into my whole stage was heartbreak. I fell in love in high school. I was going to marry the guy I married that I was with in high school. He was my high school sweetheart. The moment he cheated and the moment I found myself in Tallahassee, Florida, it was game motherfucking on. Game on. I had no feelings. It was whatever. But I think more women are so embarrassed of that stage that they might not talk about it because they didn't learn from it. I learned so much about men in that stage because not only did I have guys that I just slept with, but I also learned how to have a platonic guy friend, which I had never had in high school. Every guy that wanted to hang out, wanted to fuck, or wanted to ask me to suck their dick or whatever, they're going to say something nasty. It wasn't, hey, Kana, you want to hang out and watch the game? I only got that when I went to school. Hey, man, we want to come over and watch football. And it wasn't about fucking me. It was about me cooking the chicken and making the spinach dip. You know, I started to learn other things that men needed out of women, not just vagina. So I learned a lot in that stage. And I think my whole stage is it's not attributed to me getting a whole bunch of good dick. It's attributed to me knowing that guy's at school. He's a fucking freshman in college. What does he want a fucking relationship with me for? That's what it taught me. He's away at school. The next guy you meet, he's playing fucking ball for Florida State. The fuck he want to get into a relationship with you for? It just was the wrong thing to go after. I'm not praising myself saying, oh my God, I was able to get dick without feelings. No, I'm saying I was able to get dick without feelings because it was the right thing for me to do. Had I caught feelings with every piece of dick I got, I think I would have had bigger issues than I have as an adult. So I'm not saying that every person should go through a whole phase because it teaches you different things about being a woman. I'm saying for me, it's what it taught me. Because I ended up in a situation with guy friends and guys that I was having sex with. And so I was able to learn from both of those experiences. But the heartbreak did send me there. If I wouldn't have gotten hurt, then I still would have been living in kind of that picket fence type of scenario or narrative that I had in my head. That the guy that is sleeping with me is the guy that wants to marry me. And that's absolutely not true. And you learn that real quick when you go to a college campus.
Boy. You know what? A lot of times when I listen to women talk, I can tell right now that you actually didn't learn shit while you was at that school.
How?
It sounded, come on now, I let you win. I let you long win. I'm finna show you some shit. You know, it's not your fault. You grew up in a bad household. I definitely understand.
My mother watches the show.
I feel you. But I would say to you, you grew up in a 2-parent household, 1-parent household.
2 for the most part.
When I hear the most part.
Because
hold on. We'll get to that. See, the thing is, let me show you something, the difference between men and women. Okay? Men are very calculated individuals. We calculate just about everything, and we're very calculated. Everything that you talking about, I think if you was to go see a counselor would kind of pick that story that you just said all apart.
I'm sure.
And I'm quite sure they would actually start with the heartbreak situation. A lot of women, a lot of times, like, get passes on picking bad men. And where they also come from, where that comes from is, like, the household a lot of times. I have a son. I have a daughter. I listen to my daughter talk about men a lot of times. She's like, these men out here, Dad, I'm not sure if I'm confining anybody. They a lot of trifling men. She hangs around a whole bunch of women, which are a bunch of friends. But she said majority of information that came from watching her brother. Her brother is like 2 years older. And she watched a lot of the slime hoish shit that he do. And she was like, this actually teaches me not to believe a lot of shit that come out of men's mouths. Sometimes this can be taught by your brother, cousin, any of the sort. A majority of that information is actually supposed to come from your father. Your father a lot of times introduces the young man that you was going with to him. And he'd have took one look at him and be like, I don't like this nigga. You know what I'm saying? And that would have stopped you from your heartbreak. Now, we'll move on to your whole phase. Boy, oh boy.
Such a jerk.
Whole phases. A lot of women start using this shit about like I get in college and I get to know men and stuff like this. They don't see pimp shit when pimp shit is happening. There's different women that come in different stages. Women are used for a whole bunch of shit. You said you was used for chicken. You was probably the chicken girl.
I hate you right
anybody,
now.
and I'm not even bullshitting. Like I watched the show Grownish. They call her the cup girl, the cup bitch. She was getting everybody cups and shit at parties and shit like that, wondering why she called a cup bitch. This is what we rolling with, and we gonna let this shit suffice. Like, I get it. I understand. You had a couple of people that in there that wasn't really trying to fuck you, but not to try to even insult you, because I know you know this. Mm-hmm. Other women can look at other women and tell that there's no way on fucking earth that she can be platonic friends with this motherfucking man, because she looked too good that this motherfucker, he'll play the role of being like, hey, you want to just be buddies? You want to hang out and shit like that? And then you have other women that you can. This is for like a lonely night when nothing is coming through. You've been through the club. It ain't nothing to do. You like, God damn. But there is the chicken girl. The fried chicken. You know what I'm saying? So if some shit gonna go down and I'm exhausted every other option, I'm quite sure from frying that chicken, because the way she sucked that drumstick, I'm quite sure this might be a lead into something I can get off on. What I'm saying is, like, a lot of women do not recognize a lot of time when men are around them for sex. Like, they think that is accurate, that, oh, this person is just platonic, this and that. I would just say, hey, take a good look at yourself. Judge yourself on a scale of 1 to 10 of where you at, and you'll understand why a lot of men ain't trying to fuck you. And why a whole bunch of men, if you are more close towards the 8, 9, 10 area, why everybody trying to fuck you.
Right.
Because every woman don't have your story.
That's true. But I will say this. I was way chubbier in college,
right.
So it was easier to make me the platonic friend.
Gotcha.
But it doesn't say that I didn't learn from the conversations. Because think now, while I'm sitting at the spade table with everybody there that's platonic, and they phone ring and they picking up the phone talking about they in Miami and they in Tallahassee. These are lies that they're telling women in front of me. I'm the only girl at the table. You understand what I'm saying? And you lying to other bitches, oh, this how y'all get down. That's how I'm learning. Keep in mind now, I grew up with a younger sister. I didn't have an older brother. So I didn't see the active lying and the jiggling and juggling. When I learned about jiggling and juggling while I was being jiggled and juggled. I didn't see it happening to someone else. So that's what college showed me. It showed me a whole bunch of dudes who still had hearts, who still dressed nice and came from great families, didn't do coke, weren't in the closet, bisexual. They were just fucking graduating from fucking high school, seniors, and becoming freshmen and sophomore in college and living their lives. They weren't bad people, and that's what it taught me. It's when you're growing up and men become liars and cheaters, that's where all the shit, oh girl, he on the down low. It's so much shit that you are hearing while you're in an active heartbreak. So much that you could actually be blinded by some of that shit and not open yourself up to the other possibility that the person sitting across from you, just because he has a dick, doesn't make him a cheater and a liar. He's just fucking away at school. And so you have to make a decision at school. Am I going to be a nun and not fuck nobody? Or am I going to get me some dick and have a good time? I decided to get some dick and have a good time. I don't got time for everybody I meet to be like, where's your church family like? Where are you from? And what are you planning to do after you graduate? And are you down for marriage? For what? I get why you would. If I had a little girl, I swear to God, I wouldn't be telling her go to college and get no dick. I wouldn't tell her that.
But it's good for you.
I'm not saying that either. But I'm saying the frame of mind in which you send your child off will make a big difference in the life that they choose to live. Now, what if I would have been the good girl and be like, you know what, I'm not here to fuck. I'm here to get my education. I also believe that this conversation would be different and you'll be telling me that I'm lame and that I'm going to get taken advantage of because I don't have any street smarts. I don't have any game smarts. So I think you just have to find, which I think I did find, a nice middle ground. And like I got 20 bodies racked up just from college now.
But do you? See, and I'm glad that you went
No, I don't.
And I'm glad you went into that because that's what I was waiting for. See, a lot of times...
Oh, y'all be laughing at the wrong shit.
When females go into this whole stage type of shit and be like, well, I was out here getting some dick and I was being a savage and I was doing all this type of shit. I want you to have that conversation with your significant other that you about to marry when y'all start talking about your body count. And I want you to look into his face when you start trying to remember numbers and people that you start forgetting off of your list because you off both hands. You know, and it was Tyrone, Tommy, Fred. Oh, wait a minute. You know who I forgot? I forgot to put Aaron back on there. And it was Steven and oh my God. It was that time because I had passed out. You know what I'm saying? We was at the AKA room and I forgot.
Not the AKA room? Oh, Lord.
I forgot about Thomas. You know what I'm saying? We had relations too. And I want you to look at his face as you start rolling off this whole period. So I'm quite sure that his face gonna look mighty different than the face when you say, I only been with 3 people.
Well, duh.
And I'm not saying that to be a joke. What I'm saying is like, if you want to pass on having a whole period, just remember that there is consequences that actually come with that. And a lot of times, we don't. I'm not saying because some men don't want to know. You know what I'm saying? Some men don't pillow talk with they lady. You know, they lady be trying to pillow talk with them. Like, well, how many women you been with? But when you turn that question around and be like, because see, women idea of not high numbers be like, you know what I'm saying, be not what you thinking it is. And let's just say for instance, would you feel good? Just paint a scenario. Would you feel good if you had 19 bodies but your man had 11?
No.
Why not? You went through your whole period.
I think it would just be uncomfortable that he made better choices than you did as a woman. For sure.
You see
I'll be honest and say that.
You see what I'm saying? So that's why, like, that philosophy of, you know, I got my heart broke. I would just say, listen, I do understand a promiscuous state. I do get that. But goddamn, we gotta put some brakes on some of the shit y'all doing in college. Like, when these numbers start getting a little up there, you have to look at yourself and like, I think I need some help. Like, like, it's just one of those things that I just feel like women really don't think about. Like, I understand that, but I really feel like a lot of times with women, y'all don't take the breaks that y'all need, and also need to probably go see some counseling therapy before you hop into another relationship or hop on another dick.
But you're having a 30-year-old conversation about 18 to 21. That's what age you are when you go. Now, I'm not saying that's what age you are when you go through your whole stage. I'm saying that's what age I was when I went through mine. You understand what I'm saying? So at who in the fuck is thinking, you know what? I need therapy before I go sit on another piece of dick.
I get you. But
who was thinking that at 18?
I get you. But before we started this, you know, you asked me and you was like, well, you don't think heartbreak leads into a whole period for men? Absolutely not. No way, no how. See, the thing about with men is like, I lost my virginity at 14. Okay? But nigga ain't know what he was doing then. You know what I'm saying? I was still a sailor. You know what I'm saying? Wasn't a dicksman. You know what I'm saying? Once I got around like 18, 19, I was like, you know what? I'm finna have a hoathon.
I'm sure.
But it didn't have nothing to do with my heart being broken. I started finding out that there's different types of pussy out there. It's like tight, wet, a little extra wet. It's like different shit going on here. So I started to get my experimentation on. I started to be Columbus. You know what I'm saying? And plant that flag. Yeah, where I could. You know what I'm saying? Now, a lot of times when I do have that conversation, just like what we had, women don't really look at men if a man say like a high number, because they would be like, well, I expect a man to have a high number. But that's why I painted it in reverse. Because if you went on your whole period and you had like 18 bodies, but your man got 11, it's something wrong with that scenario right there. And I don't feel like you can just be like, in college, I was the chicken girl, and I was
I'm not gonna live the chicken girl down.
Yeah, you said it. We keeping you on it. That's all I'm saying.
I sold fried chicken and sold Rottweiler puppies. I was a bitch in school. Hey, you needed you a Rottweiler purebred, you go see Kana.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying?
No. I do not know what you're saying.
He is such a hater.
How is that hating?
You are such a hater.
And the thing about that a lot of times is, even for me, I would probably say around 22, 23. It's probably when I experienced like real heartbreak. But it didn't send me into this spiral. And the thing about it, unlike women, a lot of women think like men just like catching pussy like left and right. Like we walk out the door and it's just like, you know what I'm saying? Like, let me throw this pussy at you and not catch it. Like, I was at gas stations, clubs. I was striking out heavy. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you single, nobody wants your motherfucking ass. Like, you be in the club trying to buy drinks. You be trying to do all kind of shit to get some pussy. Nothing coming. The minute you say, hey, I'll go with you, pussy come falling out the sky. You know what I'm saying? You be at Walmart, all kind of shit. You look good. You got a girlfriend? Unfortunately, yes. What the fuck was you like 3 months ago? You know what I'm saying? I could have got this pussy with ease. That's the type of shit that happened to men. For y'all, it's different. Y'all go to a gas station, nigga trying to holler at you. You go to a store, y'all can't even pick up chips in the damn corner store. Like, it's not the same for men. It just don't work out that way. So I can honestly say, like, after my heartbreak, like, I really just wasn't catching pussy like that. Like, it just wasn't one of those things that happened. And I just really didn't want to be bothered with women at that point in time. I'm going to say more men be more angry more than anything, because you thinking about the shit that this bitch did to you, and you thinking about where to bury her. You ain't thinking about another piece of pussy. You know what I'm saying? You thinking like, I gave this bitch, I paid that rent for that time. This ungrateful motherfucker. Like, you be going through a whole bunch of emotions.
Yeah, but this is from the same guy that said the quickest way to get over a bitch is to get underneath a new one.
That's good, but that don't always happen. You know, it just really doesn't.
Especially not in the 55 minutes that we just took to do the Relations podcast. And now it's time for the tap-in portion of our show.
All right, from the tap-in right now. I got you. All right. Ladies, I like this one too. Ladies, we need to talk. Because too many of y'all have started acting like it's not your job to keep a man. You do need to clean. You do need to cook. Here's how I keep my man. I don't know how y'all keeping y'all's.
Okay, so this is a great topic because the song, I want to say it's not Up by Cardi B, but the one before that, which is what? WAP. And she's got a line in the song that she doesn't cook and she doesn't clean. But look at me, I got this ring. So it's kind of like I don't have to do all that and I still have everything that I want. But I want women to realize that that's Cardi B, and her bank account allows for her to hire a chef, hire a masseuse, hire the maids to clean the house. So she doesn't have to do all that because she has the means to have someone in the home to do all that. Trust me, if she didn't have the means for somebody to come there and cook, she ain't have no chef. She'll be at the kitchen just like I be in the kitchen. So I just think that this is pop culture and music perpetuating that type of narrative when most normal women don't have the capabilities of being in a situation where they don't have to cook and clean. Unless you have someone else to do it, you got to do it. So that's not realistic.
She didn't cook, she didn't clean. That's why he was fucking somebody else. You can use that shit, whatever you want to say. Like, listen, you can believe that shit all you want to. We ain't buying that shit. Like, the shit that that was a result of that shit, like, it's a lot of times with a woman like Cardi B, and it's kind of like what I was talking about. There are women who get snatched up real quick. Like, once you fuck with them, men be like, can't really let this pussy go. I just think I might as well marry. Does not mean that he didn't have other options. It's just that he was vibing with her. But a lot of females that come in with that, I don't cook and I don't clean and I don't do this shit, and just thinking that her pussy is enough to just keep this man, I can tell you absolutely will not work.
No.
Definitely won't work. So I get that. A lot of women may look at that, but she encountered the same problems as Beyonce, her, anybody else.
But like, I think we just met someone recently. I can't remember who it was who said they told the person that married them up front that they don't cook. She
getting a divorce.
I was shocked because even if it was the truth, because I think she did say, well, I'm just telling the truth. I was laying all my cards on the table. I don't cook. I would have rather taken cooking classes than to tell the person who just asked me to marry them that I don't cook.
But you know what?
I would have made the effort to learn.
But you know what I also asked her? I said, you a feminist? And she was like, no, I'm not. I was like, yes, you are. She was like, well, why do you say that? I was like, you came in, someone's proposing to you. One of the biggest things that women always want. And you decided to tell the person who's saying, will you marry me? I'll accept this ring, but I don't clean. I don't clean.
Yeah, that's nuts.
I don't cook, I don't clean.
Never say that.
I'd have never put that ring on.
That's the time to lie.
And the thing about it, I think in this new age, a lot of women are picking up roles where they feel like I don't have to do feminine things. Feminine things don't make you weak just because you cooking for your man. They don't make you just this weak individuals. And then I'll be trying to figure out who the fuck are you trying to impress? Your girlfriends? I'm at cookouts and shit like that, and my woman bringing me my plate. What the fuck wrong with his feet? What the fuck wrong with his hands? That's why your ass ain't got no man. Because your ass don't want to bring your motherfucking man a plate?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Okay. Let's see how that works out for you.
Yeah, just keep on tuning in to Relations. We might teach you something. Miss another episode of Relations, guys. You can find me on Facebook, Twitter, and IG at Kana Lassiter.
Hey, you can find me on both platforms. That's IG and Twitter. If you want to say, hit me up. I want to thank everybody for joining me on Podbean. Please follow us. We appreciate the follow. It helps build up the show. Every Friday, check us out. It's the YouTube channel. Join the debate, because if you want to join the debate, I might pop on there and debate with you. You can find out where you really rank. You know what I'm saying? We'll check it out. And like I told you, you're looking for the shirts. I make them. It's Alpha Male God Creations. And like I